my friends. Today I would like to talk to you about different types of anger and how this anger types affect our relationships. So there are 5 types of anger. Some of them give us the energy and some of them take away, they make us weak. So the first type of anger is the anger that we use in order to protect ourselves. So for example, if you're in a dangerous situation or you are in a situation where your boundaries are violated, or you're in a situation where you are dealing with an aggressor, so using the anger in order to protect yourself, in order to protect your reputation, your boundaries, your health, maybe your belongings, is the type of anger that is giving you energy, that is giving you the positive energy, the positive experience of self-respect, self-protection, and self-appreciation. And it comes from the inner understanding of self-worth. And it's very important to be able to use that anger, because in some situations there is a belief that the anger is a negative emotion. It is a negative energy, which sometimes people try to suppress in themselves, but it is not. It's a tool which is given to us in order to establish the boundaries, in order to protect what belongs to us, and in order to protect others as well, if it's used properly for the protective purposes. So that type of anger gives you energy, it gives you strength. The second type of anger is a substitution for action. For example, when you are in a situation where you could have done something but you didn't, you should have done something but you didn't, you should have asked for something but you didn't, and it may relate to your duty, it may relate to your social position, it may relate to your responsibilities. And in that case, if, for example, the person didn't do what he was supposed to do, didn't ask for things that he has right to ask for, that situation may generate the anger which substitute the action of asking for things, the action of doing what he was supposed to do. And that type of anger actually eats the person from inside. It paralyzes the person and it makes the person weak. So that type of anger may come from different scenarios. It may have multiple reasons underneath why the person is not acting where he is supposed to be acting, why the person is not doing what he was supposed to be doing, what kind of fear is managing his feelings and emotions. And all of that can be discovered during the session for healing inherited family programs, or I also call them karma correction, that I do for people. And if you have issues with that, you can get in touch with me and I will be happy to help you with that. But the general practice here, if you're knowing what has to be done, and you consulted with knowledgeable people, and you consulted with people who have experience in similar situations and they've been successful, basically you have the knowledge of the masters of the situation, of the coaches or mentors, and that should help you to act. But if you cannot act based on that knowledge because something is blocking you, then in that case you need help to unblock your internal resources in order to act properly in that situation, so that you don't feel weak and paralyzed. Now, the third type of anger is called unfair actions. Basically, when we perform something towards someone which was unfair, or when we offend someone and don't want to take responsibility, that can develop the type of anger that actually puts the responsibility for our own action on the person who was offended by us. Okay? And that type of anger is also a substitution of our own responsibility, of our own action, of admitting the responsibility again and acting properly. So that can be harmonized by taking responsibility, apologizing, fixing the behavior, and doing the right thing in the future. And again, if there is a misunderstanding and there is a fear of doing the right thing here, and if there is a habit of offending and not taking the responsibility, there can be, again, multiple reasons for that. And if you need help, that can be resolved as well. Then the fourth type of anger is when a person takes, it's a kind of violation, is a result of violation of give and take. So for example, imagine there is a relationship and there are two people in the relationships and one takes more than gives. So that taking more creates a burden of a pressure, okay, of due to the disbalance of give and take, and that pressure becomes intolerable and can generate that type of anger, which reveals itself in the form of distance from the person who gives that much, because the other person is unable or doesn't want to give back. And that also can be, that type of anger can result in a feeling of sadness, in a feeling of emptiness, because it deals with a lack of gratitude. So this situation can be harmonized by being grateful, by appreciating what is given to you, and maybe by balancing through other action or through restricting yourself from taking too much if you cannot give back in a positive way. Okay. And the fifth type of anger is a very interesting type because it relates to the inherited anger. So if there is an anger in the family which was suppressed and was not revealed, like by family members, for example, then those who are younger may inherit that anger. I will give you an example. For example, if a mother is very upset with the father of a child, right, but she's not showing her emotions, she's suppressing them, but inside of her heart she's angry. So that anger, which was not revealed but suppressed by mother, can be inherited by the child because he is emotionally and psychologically weaker than adults, and therefore that anger may be revealed by the child, and that anger can be forwarded towards father because that's the addressee of the anger, or even that may redirect it to the child's friends or in the future, because that type of anger can last for a long time, and a person may grow up with that anger, make it a habit, and then redirect it to the colleagues, to the partner, to the employees if he's a manager, and etc. And how to know that the anger which was inherited, usually people who experience this anger, they feel themselves very right to be angry, very right to punish, although factually it might not seem adequate. But in the end and internally, they actually suffer because they feel themselves a victim of their own feeling, which was inherited from the family. So this type of anger can be unblocked and released through the family constellations, through the healing of family inherited programs, and through the karma correction processes that I am doing for my clients. So if you need help with that, please get in touch with me, book a consultation, book a session, and I will be very happy to help you with that. In general, anger is there in order to help us to set up the boundaries, to protect ourselves, and to protect our ability to do what we have to do, okay? Or to say what we have to say. Anger should serve our duty, our responsibility, our ability to manifest ourselves from the positive perspective. And speaking astrologically, anger is represented, like good type of anger is represented by Mars and Sun in a good position. Exalted Mars gives us the ability to set up the boundaries and protect those who are weaker than us, protect ourselves, because we are protecting our body, which is the weak part, right? We are protecting our inner child, which is also part of ourselves. And that anger serves as a protective mechanism for us to be effective, efficient, and helpful for others. Now, when we speak about sun, this anger relates more to the disciplinary actions, like, for example, the father would discipline the child not through cruel actions but through explanations, through giving the proper philosophy. It's also that type of anger that allows the person to learn about the boundaries through the philosophy, through the knowledge. Okay, and that type of anger actually destroys the ignorance, because we use the anger as a sword that destroys the ignorance, so that we and others who are around us can act in a proper way, can act in a manner that won't hurt them and others. So that type of anger is very good. It's a quality anger. Now, anger, which is not quality anger, may be represented by Saturn in Mars signs, by Rahu connected with Mars, and by Rahu it's himself, or like itself, right? And by dissatisfied Venus, by Mars in debilitation, like debilitated Mars. So in that case, the person might be unable to set the boundaries that may make him really angry, and then the person may go through all of this other four scenarios, starting from substitution of the action and being angry with themselves, or offending others and putting the responsibility for their own offense on others, by not being able to say thank you, and that's why becoming angry and aggressive and distant, or by inheriting the anger of the relatives and family members and distributing this anger towards everybody around them or those who are weaker than them, or growing with it and then experiencing it and forwarding it towards their partner and their kids. So that type of angers, like the other four types of angers, they are destructive and they require harmonization. And depending, again, because in my consultations I look at the chart, and I also, because the chart shows the whole consciousness of the person and the emotional structure of the person and the psychological portrait of the person, and I can make more clear recommendations on how to manage the situation by improving the planets, improving the quality of life, by living the life that will harmonize the whole horoscope and the consciousness of the person. And in general, without even looking at the horoscope, I will give you the general method of harmonization of your emotional condition. It won't help you to set out to set up the boundaries, but it will clarify the consciousness that will allow you to see where you need to work on yourself, because karma correction, healing inherited programs, psychological therapy, all of these methods are given to heal the psychology, okay, the nervous system, the reactions. And then spiritual practice, which is above the psychology and above the physiology, allows to harmonize all of those areas. And also it shows which area requires healing. For example, if your body is sick, you might not be able to concentrate too much on your consciousness because you need to heal your body. The same relates to the psychological blocks, emotional blocks, and different karmic blockages in like in the mind, and therefore it has to be healed in order to be successful spiritually, in order to be I would say spiritually intelligent, because this is the highest level of intelligence. So the practice to harmonize all of your spheres of life and to be able to see the areas that require healing is the mantra meditation. It's a universal mantra, And the universal mantra sounds like that: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You need to repeat this mantra from 5 minutes and more daily, in the morning and in the evening. You can do it also during the day. The preferable time is the morning time, because it has the energy of goodness, of youth, and the energy of knowledge. It's all in the morning time, and the mind is very pure at that time, and the consciousness is full of energy. So if you spiritualize your mind and your consciousness, you will be able to see the areas that require healing. It will give you the clarity of mind and ability to understand yourself better and others, and also will give you peace of mind through the acceptance of yourself. Because once you understand yourself and your own emotions and feelings, it is easier to deal with yourself through the acceptance. Without acceptance, you might not want to deal with it. Why? Because if it's not yours, why would you deal with it? If it's not your problem, why would you resolve it? So by understanding, accepting, and seeing that it's a part of you that requires healing, requires your attention and love, you start acting. And when we speak about acceptance and admitting the problem, it means that, oh, now I understand that that part of me needs my love and attention. It's not that you're going to think bad about yourself. No, it's about admitting that this is also me, and that part of me also needs love, attention, and care. And by that acceptance of the unhealed part of yourself, you become able to heal that part and to do whatever is necessary to become healthy and happy in that area. So that was all. Today we discussed 5 types of anger, how they affect our relationships, how they affect our health, how to deal with those types of anger, the purpose of anger itself as an instrument, and the ways you can harmonize your life through the symptoms of different types of anger that we've discussed today. And if you have any other questions or realizations, you can always post them under this video, because I'll be posting this video on my Instagram. And if you need personal help, please do not hesitate to get in touch with me, book a consultation or session, either astrological, karma correction, or healing or family inherited programs, unblocking your internal potentials and healing your emotions. I will be very happy to assist you with that as well. These are very quick healing mechanisms that help to understand yourself, to accept yourself, to understand why things happen the way they're happening, why things don't happen the way you want them to happen, what to do in order to overcome obstacles towards your goals, and what actually to avoid in order to be in harmony and in happiness, what to live along and what to start doing in life. And by unblocking your internal blockages, you will be able to release more resources, to get the resources available that have been blocked by different traumatic situations in the past. And those resources will help you to achieve much better and faster results in life. All the best to you. If you like that video, please share it with your friends, give me your likes, and I will be looking forward to seeing you in my future video, where I will be discussing the topic on how to balance the relationships through give and take. All the best to you.